Anyway, until I started vomiting feces out my mouth, and I didn't know what it was, because it doesn't smell like feces. It doesn't even look like feces. Until one day, again, I can't think, my stomach, it doesn't look like a pregnant woman, but it feels like I'm pregnant. Like, Faisal, if you came to visit me in the hospital during that time, and you walked past my bed, and you just so happened, and it happened with my wife, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward her for her patience, and you so happened to hit the side of my bed with your hip, I am in agony, and I'm just really fiery, because it's the pain. I was like, why would you do that to me, kind of thing? And she's like, no, I didn't do it on purpose. But at the time, remember, I got the drugs in my system, I'm hallucinating, I'm being tested spiritually, mentally, physically, in every sphere of my life. Like, why is anybody else causing me pain right now? But then sometimes I'll be fine when the medications kicked in. And then what happened was, we didn't feel that we were getting the care that we needed. Like, my mum and my wife and my father, why is my son in so much pain? It's not normal. And nothing seemed to be happening. So they went and complained. There's a section in the hospital that you can complain about. I forget the name of it. If I'm not mistaken, actually, that night, the surgeon came up. And we've since have got a good relationship. He came up and said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what's happened. All right. But what we're going to do, we're going to put you back under the operating theatre, and we're going to try and sort this out for you, I promise. So I felt like, alhamdulillah, at least I'm not just a lost cause. Sure. Nobody's, seeing to my situation. So it was about 2 to 3 weeks I went back under. And again, even that in and of itself, like, you cut somebody around that area of the body, it takes a long time to heal. It's almost like getting a cesarean, And then they went back in 3 weeks later. So to this day, which has been nearly 2 years, or maybe nearly 2 years, I still have pain here. Like, I can't do a sit-up by myself, So if I'm laying in the bath sometimes, I don't know what it is, the hot water, it makes it feel really sore. So if I get up, I'm in agony. They put me back under the operating theatre, and they basically just opened up the hole. That's when I found out that my hole for the stoma was initially too small. You with me? So that was, all of that drama. But as it relates to actually living with a stoma, that was the second phase of my whole journey with cancer, which brought me into even more depression. Because I said to myself, look, I'm somebody that teaches, and I go out and do things. What am I gonna do if I'm on the street and my bag fills up and I need to empty it? What do I do? Do you see what I'm saying? And to empty actually was for me, it was the most painful experience, because you have to take off the bag. I still had stitches that they wanted to pull out. I said, there's no way you're pulling out no stitches out. Let them dissolve naturally, You have to wipe it. And in the process of you taking off that stoma bag, actually, you don't know if you're going to defecate. You don't know if you're going to defecate. And it's the most humiliating for me, again, at the time when my mind was and everything that was happening at the time. I just felt so humiliated. I felt like I went back to like infancy, that baby stages. And on 2 occasions, right, you start to get paranoid. Do I smell? Like, because you can smell, like, sometimes I could smell it if I change it, or maybe if I went like that, I could smell a little whiff. Like, if other people are around me, can they smell me? So I'm thinking, no, when I get out of it, I'm staying at home. I'm not going anywhere. Nobody coming to see me. And I definitely ain't going to see nobody, On 2 occasions, actually, and this was probably one of the lowest points, my bag, one occasion, I woke up and my bag had overfilled. So it spilled out onto me. Another occasion, it spilled when I was changing it. So you can imagine, I'm sleeping one day in the hospital bed, and they're not the most comfortable places to be in. And then I wake up, and then I just feel a nice warm sensation, as bad as it sounds. I feel a nice warm sensation on my body area. And I'm like, what's that? So I'm looking down, and obviously the covers are there. I'm disoriented. You still there, bro?
Yeah, sorry, my phone just... Oh, there we are.
I was a bit disorientated, and then it wasn't until I lifted up the covers and I could see that literally my feces, and it was like water. It was almost like literally the consistency was like water. It doesn't come out like stool comes out. It comes out like water, right? And it was just pouring down, and I'm like I just had to sit there. I just had to sit there until it finished. And I can't remember if it was the first time or the second time, but one of the time I cried, actually, because I was like,
Yeah, of course.
this is just, it feels like it's too much. And it was either the first time it happened or the second time when I was actually awake this time, but I was changing myself. So I'm sitting down, I'm wiping all the feces off, that was, the little bits of like residue from the thing. I threw away the bag. As I'm going to get the new bag to put on, because you can have a bag for about 2 days. You just empty it. Yeah, you just empty it out, empty it out, empty it out. But once it gets a bit like over 2 days, 2 days, like depending on how much it's been, how active it's been, you kind of want to change it now, and you feel a bit fresh when you've got a new one on. So I'm trying to rush, and in the interim period of me cleaning up, trying to get the new one, I just saw it go like this. I don't know if you can see me. I just felt I'm gonna go up here because this is where the camera cuts off, but it just went. It just splurted like a water pistol. Like if you press the water pistol once, and it just squirts out. It squirted out.
So you have no
control
feeling of like, oh, I'm about to.
Nothing, Akhi. You feel when it's coming out, but you don't know that it's coming. You with me? So naturally,
you don't have like that, like when you need to go to the bathroom, you're
toilet,
like,
exactly, or some, if you need to pass wind, you kind of feel that, I got some gas in my stomach, or a burp, you kind of feel it coming up. This one you don't. So naturally, as I'm changing and it went like that, my instinct was to catch it. That's what you do, right? You go to catch something. So I went to catch it, and it's like, and then it just went ksh, ksh, ksh. Then it was like a waterfall, and it just went all in between my legs, all behind me again, and I cried. Akhi. I think that was the time when I cried. That time there. So obviously I had to clean off all my hands to the best of my ability. I'm feeling nasty. I smell. I pressed the buzzer. Probably done it with my knuckle or something like that. And then I said to the nurse, like I've sold myself. I need some help. And I'm angry now. I'm just angry because it's a period. I'm just angry and just, like a grumpy person. I'm not the nicest person to be around. And I remember one of the times that I had to get changed. It was a female nurse. What can I do? What can I do, Akhi? I'm like near enough incapacitated. I can't do much. It was like late at night. She was the only one on duty. And another time, I had to get a man to do it. That day, Akhi, was difficult for me to deal with. Like, do you know what I mean? I remember, I do feel bad now because obviously I'm in my right frame of mind. But at the time, I'm not. I told him, he's like, okay, no problem. This is their job, NHS staff. This is what they have to do, deal with on a daily basis, He came in after I told him, and he went to open up the curtains when I wasn't presentable. So I shouted at him, and he just like kind of shot like that. And at the time, I'm not even thinking about how he feels or that he's just doing his job or how I'm coming across. I'm just like, why you open up the curtains and I'm not? Do you know what I mean? So I had to get out the thing. They changed, wiped it down. Before you knew it, I was back in my bed. But those were, two very, very difficult and traumatic experiences that I had with the stoma bag.